You would have to be bisexual. I mean, you couldn't be gay because you go like, ooh, I can't believe it's there. And, if you're a lesbian, you're like, oh my gosh, I mean, when you think, they would probably enjoy peeing because they could stand up.
Right. That's right. It's Over the Line with Andrew McLean and this guy and that guy over there.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? Hey! What is this?
Well, we were talking. Remember, we talked last podcast about the Tiger King.
I do remember that.
I want to show some solidarity, so I thought I would wear this. See? It's got kind of a Tiger King look to it. You got to admit. So I hope we need to send this to him as a video message. And I'm with you, bro. No homo, but I'm with you, bro.
Wait. So you put that outfit on and said to yourself, "This looks like the Tiger King"?
Yeah.
Tony, you wanna pull us up? Because and maybe it's just my memory, and I feel like I don't know. I don't mean this to degrade your outfit, but I'm just not seeing Tiger King in it. You know
I'm
what
not
I'm saying?
wearing your outfit.
Okay, well, wait a minute. All right, we might have something going.
Look.
Yeah, I could see it. Tilt your head the other way. Oh. Okay, yeah, I can see it a little bit. The mustache and everything. Yeah. You got a little gray hair going on, but if it was blonde, you'd be a dead ringer.
Shut the hell up! Stop talking about my. It blends in here. I think I look like him, and I hope he gets out, and we need to have him on the show.
Yeah,
and I will dress like him.
We had somebody comment on one of our videos that Bubba had him on at one point, and so they've got the connection.
Oh,
to have him on.
Time to talk to Lemmy.
So, this is the podcast where we always talk about bringing in really cool guests and never do it. So welcome everybody. How's the week been for you? Okay, not been good. Tony Gump, how's your week been?
I'd like to say it's been awesome, but it's been pretty shitty. So
we got the business from one commenter on the YouTube channel. Well, it was the one there's the video that was on Bubba's YouTube channel, and he was like, I tried to listen, and these people are trying to pretend like I know what HB 445 is or some shitty legislation. It's like, listen, it's important to us, okay? Like we had to talk about that. Plus, it's been the main topic on the radio show. So
yeah, I'm surprised how much people around town have been talking about it too. It's kind of a thing. People come in asking about it all the time now.
Well, it's taking away our rights. It's really taking away our rights, and I think that we need to fight back.
Wow, he went country lawyer there. I hadn't seen that guy in a while.
Tiger King, he kind of talks like this. I guess he'd be a little bit higher when he talked.
Yeah.
But so, solidarity, man. Get me out of prison.
What is, not to hammer on the HB 445 stuff.
That's what she said.
What? Tiger King would have said that's what he said.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's gay.
He is.
What's the store looking like, or is that a topic we don't even want to talk about?
Just briefly, it's just weird because we had to stop ordering a bunch of different products. So when I'm going and I'm checking the clipboards for what we're bringing in, versus what we're taking out, the ordering's only a few things. We only have a few things that we're able to order right now. So it's kind of just as it runs out, it runs out.
God.
But we're hopeful that we're going to have enough vendors get on the registry on the vape side of things, so we're able to sell those products. But those are, it's very confusing. But we're doing all we can.
I guess I probably need to go get a couple pods and coils, huh? I hadn't been over there since all this stuff started.
You'll be all right. I'll at the last chance or the last order I do that's personal for people I know.
Gotcha.
We'll take care of it.
That'd be perfect. It makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it ought to.
So, on a serious note, last night, or at the recording of this podcast, there was a shooting in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Or can I say that word? A pewing. We'll call it a pewing, like a pew-pewing.
Yes, a pew-pew.
There was a
Pew-pew,
pew-pewing out in Washington, D.C. with, I think it was the Jewish Museum or something like that, and there was some staffers from the Israeli embassy there, and a couple of them were pew-pewed and unalived thanks to a gunman who is obviously a lunatic. Taking lives is obviously not good in any case.
Yeah, but was there a reason? It seems like that Israel was being targeted.
Yes, this was it's
not random.
No, this was an act of terror because from what I understand, the guy that did it then came back around and went inside and told them, "Hey, I saw what happened, and I need a safe place, and I need some water." And at that point, he pulls out his, what do they call the Muslim head garb deal, the scarf, the kachif, the handkerchief, and pulls that out and starts yelling the whole "Free Palestine" and all this crap.
Oh.
And they ended up arresting him and all that kind of stuff. So they'll be, prosecuting him to the full extent of the law. But I don't know. I mean, that's obviously a big deal. It's a big story, but there's a big story that's lingering in the background that I hadn't heard anybody talking about yet. Mm-hmm. And it comes from this tweet right here from the account of Kanye West.
Uh-oh. Kanye update.
And it says, "I am done with anti-Semitism." I mean, you just dropped a banger of a song about the H guy. We'll call him Double H. You just dropped a banger about Double H, and all of a sudden he's out with anti-Semitism.
Maybe it was a creative way of showing that if we're not careful, this could happen to America. So he got people thinking. He got people talking back and forth. And then he said, "Okay, y'all, I've taught you my lesson, yo." Anti-Semitism.
Yo.
Yeah, bad.
No, I really think he hated Jews. But I think it was from his personal experience of dealing with people in the music industry and the people that were trying to destroy him, especially once he came out and supported Donald Trump. But it is interesting. Is he saying I'm done with anti-Semitism because he doesn't want any heat coming on him for this terrorist attack, or is he literally looking at it and saying, this is costing lives, and I don't want to be involved in it in any way?
Well, maybe he's trying to go to the next thing. Like maybe he feels like he's conquered this subject in his own mind, and now he's looking for the next super controversial thing.
That's good.
Or maybe it's his brain.
Heil Stalin is going to be his next song.
Oh boy,
he's going to move on to the next dictator.
Yeah.
Stalin was as bad as Hitler, but don't get me started.
Yeah, we won't get you started.
10 million of his own people.
Do you? Is there something about that mustache that gives you an extra when you're talking? It's like you know how old people that have those kind of mustaches and they kind of whistle when they talk.
Yeah, it's
almost like you've got that going on.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just wondering the mechanics of it.
I don't have a whistle.
But it fits. I mean, it fits the mustache.
Yeah. What are you saying?
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you what.
Really playing the character.
Lead singer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Been rocking a stash for years.
He's also got a 19-year-old girlfriend.
And been in a lot of trouble, too, for that matter.
Everybody's calling him a P word.
He gave it away now,
He gave it away.
He gave it all away, yeah.
He gave away the age of consent. Threw it out the window.
Jeez. I didn't know that. Thanks for ruining my heroes.
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis or something?
Kiedis, yeah. Anthony Kiedis.
Man.
It's kind of hard to look at the mustache, you know.
Yeah, it's a little distracting.
Taking it off now.
So no, don't do that. I was
No.
liking it.
Anthony, no, I don't want to look like a P word.
You don't look like him. You look more like Yosemite Sam and Tiger King had a butt baby.
A butt? Now you're calling me a butt?
No.
baby?
I'm just saying you're the product of a homosexual
You could have went
relationship.
for one of the police officers on Super Troopers or something.
Yeah, like Farva.
Super Troopers, man. I love that movie.
What else? The South Africa stuff. Did everybody see the South African president in the White House?
Yeah.
Epic.
You want to talk about thinking 12 steps ahead?
That's what I've been saying.
Donald Trump brought him in and just whipped his wang out and slapped him right across the face with it. He gets in there and he's like, no, there's no genocide of white farmers going on in our country. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, all right, y'all turn down the lights. I got a video to show the class. And pulls out the TV and shows them chanting the whole thing. Actually, if you will, Tony, just go out of that real quick and go over one. Let's play this real quick. I think I got ahead of myself. This is, and we may have played this on the show before, but this is Julian, what's his name? Julian Malema. And he is a politician in South Africa. He is a leader of the Minority Party. And this is what he promotes, which is kill the Boer, kill the farmer. It essentially translates to kill the white farmer.
Shoot to kill the mother, kill the Boer, the farmer, kill the Boer, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
Now, it would be one thing for this to be a guy that is just a random politician that's saying crazy stuff on social media.
Right.
But this is a guy chanting in a stadium full of people that are repeating the phrase, yes, let's unalive the white farmers.
And they're all in a feverish pitch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could probably tell them to go out and, unalive. And there are probably many in the audience. So what do you get all worked up?
Well, and on top of that, it's actually happening.
Yes.
They're being killed. They're having their land stolen and everything else. So it was fascinating for this president to come in the White House and say, no, that's not what's happening. Even at one point, he brought a couple of white farmers with him, and Trump started asking them questions about like what's going on, in their world or with their families that are farmers. And they essentially say, we have to live behind electric fences. Our land and our property have been stolen or burned down. My 80-year-old mother was attacked inside of her home one time. And I'm like, wait, those guys were supposed to be with you to push this narrative that this is not happening. But to the president of South Africa's credit, he understands that he's got the U.S. media on his side that are going to run cover for him and call all of this fake. That there's no genocide. Here's the View. Here's Whoopi Goldberg calling it a conspiracy theory.
To know what's happening in our world. So, South African President Ramaphosa paid a visit to the White House yesterday, which turned into a surprise presentation on conspiracy theories of a white genocide in his country. Take a look.
You have many people that feel they're being persecuted and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. We do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The farmers are
neutralized.
black. The farmers are not black.
We have
I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black.
My God! So between ambushing Zelensky and this, why would world leaders continue to come to the White House?
Okay, well,
Yeah,
first
hey,
of all,
listen, that's a good question. Because if I was a world leader and I had anything adversarial towards the U.S. in any way,
Yep.
ain't no way in hell I'm going to sit in that hot seat. I ain't going to do it. But listen, there's one word in particular she brought up, ambush. And I heard that a couple times, and I'm like, I wonder if that's the new talking points that the media has been handing. You know, the media gets memos given to them, and it's like, this is the narrative, this is the language, everybody use it.
It's like they're all in the same club or something.
Yeah. They're all there. It's, you know, Mockingbird media. They just repeat the same thing over and over. So I got to looking to see how many people had been using that word ambush, and this is what we found.
To the dramatic scene in the Oval Office today, the tense confrontation, President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
Up next, another Oval Office meltdown. President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
President Trump is being accused of conducting something of a diplomatic ambush of South Africa's president in the Oval Office.
To be with you, I'm Katie Tur. President Trump orchestrated another Oval Office ambush today.
Today, Donald Trump meeting with the president of South Africa and attempting to ambush and humiliate that leader.
Zelensky territory, where essentially he was a bit ambushed inside the Oval Office.
Felt like an ambush in there, kind of like the President Zelensky meeting in the Oval Office.
This was an ambush. It was orchestrated.
Cyril Ramaphosa brought his best diplomatic self to this meeting, but nothing could have prepared him for this multimedia ambush.
What started as, to some degree, an ambush.
Well, Katie, I mean, it was an ambush.
Ambush.
Ambushed.
Ambush.
An ambush.
Ambushing.
Ambushed inside the Oval Office.
Yeah, it was an ambush, baby. I wonder if do they not have any shame?
No.
Like, even if I, as a radio host, were told, like, this is what you need to talk about, which has never happened. You know, I understand there's probably there is radio people out there over time that have been told, you need to talk about this or you need to not talk about this. I've never been told that. But if I were, I would at least say, well, I'm going to use some different language so mine sounds different. You know, and I don't sound like I'm just copying everybody else. I mean, forget how it makes the media look in general, but you don't want to look like a plagiarist. But these people don't care.
No.
They have no shame.
No, and I could guarantee that they all get the same memo in the mornings, and it's probably just like a little machine in their apartment or something. They just, oh, here it is, and then they get like a paragraph, and then they know what they're going to be talking about.
It's their globalist pager.
And it's going to go all the heads of the stations, like the head of Comcast and all that. They're all in one club, and it all goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation to me. There's no coincidences with this stuff.
It's
and
like,
we've seen it dozens of times with different phrases throughout the past few years. For
it's
sure.
like if we would have all showed up wearing a Bubba Army shirt. It's like if we would have all shown up wearing a mustache. But you were the only one, so we're not copying each other.
Tony's got one. He's just got a beard attached to it.
Yeah. His is real, like yours is real.
I think we have no memos going out in the morning.
That's my point.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, yeah, that's true.
Like today, mustache and Bubba shirt, didn't happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Exactly.
no. I mean, I'm supporting Tiger King.
Of course you are.
Yeah, that's my big Tiger King thing.
Donald Trump is just. I was so proud of him yesterday when they had that Oval Office meeting. We carried the whole thing on the radio, and I was like, "Oh, this is so good."
That was awesome.
Most radio people don't want to carry long form audio because they feel like it's eating into their show. I personally don't care. I don't have any shame because my thought process is if something historical is going to go down, you don't know when it's going to happen.
Right.
So if you just carry all of it, you're going to catch those historical moments. That was a historical moment. And that's what this guy's about, man. I hate to, be riding Donald Trump's jock, but that's just me,
Yeah.
There is one issue. there are a lot of Africans that are being slaughtered by dictators in all of the different countries. I mean, heads chopped off, being gutted like a fish, which I say, but I never do.
I'm sorry. It's the mustache.
It's true. So is he going to? Is he going to do that? Is he going to get involved with all of these countries that are committing genocide? Because the white farmer is at the forefront in terms of awareness.
Yeah.
So, is he going to look to do something like that?
I think he is. I think that was the point. I don't know about other countries, but I think that was the point of that meeting and confronting him, because there was he was stopped by the media, the South African president, and you could hear in his voice was shaking. He knew he had just gotten wrecked. You could see him squirming in the chair during that meeting. Like, he was not comfortable.
And I just got to say, it's a racial thing, because over there in Africa, they don't have the luscious soil to plant and create food. So out of all the people in the whole country you're going to go after, why would you go after the farmers? That would be the last place you'd want to go.
If they are allowed to do this, in 10 years, there will be a famine in South Africa, and everybody's going to be looking at the U.S. to save them. And we may have a president that, like most other presidents, they're like, yeah, we gotta save this other part of the world, blah blah blah.
Probably be some like Hollywood fundraisers or something.
Yeah, yeah, because we've always
we
been
are the world.
Throwing ourselves in the back of the line to put everybody else at the front of the line, and we're doing the opposite of that now. Donald Trump is leading the world. It's just like in 20, and he said something about this the other day. In his first term, he locked in the Olympics and the World Cup for the U.S. I think the Olympics are next year, and then the World Cup's in 2028. Did you hear what he said about it? He was talking about it the other day, and he was talking about when he lost in 2020, about how he was never going to get credit for it, because by the time they came around, he wasn't going to be president. But he made a fantastic point. Listen to this.
And we got the Olympics, and then we got through Johnny, who's the boss. He's a friend of mine. We got the World Cup. I got them both. And I said, man, I won't be president. I got the Olympics and the World Cup, and I won't be president. And they're going to forget that I got them. Nobody's going to mention it because, a little bit, that's the way life is. And then they rigged the election. And then I said, you know what I'll do? I'll run again, and I'll shove it up their ass. And that's what I did. And all of a sudden, I then realized, I said, you know what? I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup, and I got the 250th. Look at the way this works out. So if they would have left us alone and wouldn't have cheated on the election and wouldn't have rigged it, I would have been retired right now. I would have been happily doing something else. And instead, they have me for 4 more years. Can you believe it?
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot if you're a Democrat. Right. So his point was, he locked in the Olympics and the World Cup back in his first term, and his intentions were to be president until 24. But then after he left office at the beginning of 2025, then 2026 is the Olympics, 2028 is the World Cup. He's not going to be there. He served his 2 terms. He's out. And he said because they cheated in the 2020, he's like, I'm running again. And now not only is he going to be president during those 2 events, but he's president for the 250th birthday of America, where it was announced today on June 14th?
June 14th would be Trump's birthday, and it's Flag Day.
And Flag Day. Oh my God. That is going to be the day that they're having the military parade in Washington, D.C.
Oh, my goodness.
To celebrate America's 250th birthday.
Man. I wonder if they're going to do the great ships. Because remember in 76... they had all these old sail ships that was in the harbor. Yeah, and do you remember that, Tony?
I wasn't alive at that time.
Oh my God!
There was one that hit the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is 1976, and
Well, that's what that
ages.
book looked like. It was from back then.
Yeah, well, no, it's 1776.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it was a spectacle. It was a big thing then. So it'll be interesting to see what, what spectacular is going to happen.
It's gonna be huge. Whatever it is, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. I'm excited for it. I think it was June. Maybe it's June 13th, June 14th. Don't we have something on June 14th?
That's Flag Day.
Yeah, but I feel like I've got something scheduled for June 14th.
That does sound familiar.
No, we have Lynham scheduled for the 13th.
Yeah,
for the prize.
yeah, and I think I got a station event the 14th. Like a business is doing something. I think it's Peach Cobbler Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's good stuff.
I think. Anyway, what else is out there? Just playing some catch up here. James Comey. Didn't we talk a little bit about that last time?
Oh, yeah.
The 86-47.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, he was playing dumb. He was like, I don't know. First of all, you should be charged with a crime for being his age and posting on Instagram. That's first of all. Second of all, he then does this media tour. He goes on MSNBC and he goes on these other channels and he's explaining away, why he did what he did. I don't know if YouTube's going to let us keep this clip, but here's a clip of James Comey on Stephen Colbert's show.
So let me get this straight. You were walking on the beach with your boyfriend,
Yes.
and you found this big cucumber sticking out of the sand.
That's correct.
Okay, but how did it end up halfway up your ass? I mean, did you pick it up and stick it up your ass, or did your boyfriend help with that? Like, how did it happen?
It's a funny story, actually. We were walking down the beach, and all of a sudden my boyfriend says, look, there seems to be a giant cucumber sticking out of the sand. So I just went over to check it out, and I was wearing flip-flops, so I tripped, and I literally landed right on top of it with my ass, Steve. So I told my boyfriend, should we go back home and try put some baby oil on it? And my boyfriend was like, that sounds like fun, honey. And I said, nah, man, it's stuck up my ass. This is serious.
So he wanted to rub some baby oil on it and push it further or something, kind of like a Diddy party?
Yeah, he got excited and shit. So anyway, we just went back home and put some baby oil on it and finally got it out. And to be honest, it still hurts a little bit, but not as much as the day Trump shit canned me. That one really hurt. I'm still butthurt from it. That's why I posted the seashells thingy on Instagram.
Okay, I think that's the wrong clip.
Gosh.
I don't know that was actual footage from Stephen Colbert's
That's
show.
shocking. Well, Stephen Colbert was right there.
Yeah, that's true. But
Man.
If we've seen it on the internet, it must be true.
Yeah, that's
Duh.
true. If it's on the internet, it's legit.
Absolutely.
So now the question is YouTube going to let that fly? Or they go have CBS claiming copyright on that? Oh, dude, if CBS were to claim copyright on that, we could post that and be like, look at this legitimate news the clip from the Colbert Show where James Comey's got a cucumber in his ass.
We could do pictures and all that.
But that's
So that didn't happen.
No.
You jokester.
I know. That's deep fake stuff. But something that really did happen was Joe Biden. Remember Jake Tapper's book came out. They're talking about how he was out of it and everything else. All the stuff that we knew was going on, but apparently the media had no idea. Joe Biden has actually spoken for the first time since all of that came out. His family's kept him away from the cameras. They don't want him talking. But he decided to emerge from his basement and put out this message on social media.
Fellow Americans, it's your boy Dank Brandon. As many of you probably heard, I have ass cancer. And no, it's not the fun kind that you get from a booty juice encounter. Not that there's anything wrong with that, no homo. No, this is the shitty kind that cuts to the bone, kind of like a George Clooney op-ed in a Jake Tapper tell-all book. But as you all know, this isn't the first time I've got cancer, and it won't be the last. But I'm going to beat it like I always do, and then I'm coming for you, Clooney. Worst fucking Batman ever. Nipples protruding in his bat suit. You know why I didn't recognize you, George? Because you look like a gay Zorro with AIDS. And now it's your turn, Tapper. I'm going to shove your head so far up Brian Stelter's ass, you're going to be able to tell if he's scalloped or au gratin on the inside. I shouldn't have said that, but who's going to fucking stop me now? There are no strings on me anymore, Jack. All right, now I got to go beat this cancer like Harry Sisson, looking at a picture of peak booty juice with a beard. Dank Brandon, out.
Yeah, so there's a statement from the tell-all book and what people have been saying about him.
He seemed pretty cognitive.
Yeah, he seems like he's got it together.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I feel like I just entered like in a new dimension or something, you know.
No, this is reality, Tony Gup.
Okay.
You were in the real world with all legitimate, triple sourced information.
Yeah, I just had this feeling like I need to put my mask back on or something, you know.
You might want to do that.
Never.
Actually, put it on your ass so you don't end up with a cucumber.
It'd do the same amount of good.
No, I'll never wear a mask again.
Yep. Never.
Did y'all wear a mask at any point during like the early stages of it? Like there were some places, and I'm talking across the board. For instance, in order to go to the grocery store, they were going to make you wear a mask. I think we all had to do that at some point.
Yes.
But in the first, say, 2 weeks, where nobody knew what this was, where it came from, what the deal. Well, we kind of knew it came from China, but where y'all, like I had instances when I went and visited my mamaw, I put a mask on for, the sake of argument.
That makes that.
And because
sense.
we were being told,
right?
Now that lasted about 2 weeks, and my mama was like, "Take that mask off," and we stopped wearing them altogether. But I was also doing Uber and DoorDash and Lyft and all these other
things. You'd have to do it for all of them, didn't you?
And yes, if you had somebody in your car, you had to put your mask on. And in a lot of cases, I would test them out, and I would not have it on when they got in, but wait and see if they asked me to put it on. So.
Yeah, at the shop we had like a 2-week period where we had to wear them, and within the first week somebody like let one rip in the shop, and I smelled it through my mask, and I said to the guys, I said, "This is all bullshit." I go, I don't believe any of this right now,
Momo Ivy made you wear that mask for 2 weeks.
Well, I wanted to make a fashion statement because I just started working at the station, didn't know anybody really, and then all of a sudden I'm there with like 3 other people. Because everybody else was zooming in. So I got on Amazon and found some fashionable masks that you could wear. Like I got one that was a boom box. Then I got one from the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there was a little bit of excitement in the sense of you could customize your mask
fashion
that we were all buying from China.
Right. But the thing is, it wasn't going to work.
And then all the gas stations had all these different designs and stuff. Like they were really making some money off masks.
I used to run in the gas station and put my shirt over my face and run in and pay and then get out real quick when they required it,
And the grocery stores making you walk down one way down each aisle. Like you'd have to circle all the way around and the arrows. I can only walk this way.
Once you see the whole Matrix idea of the mask and the lockdowns and the 6 feet, like once it occurred to me what was going around and everybody else was buying it, it was like a completely different world. And I just didn't want to participate in any of it, to be honest with you.
What a weird time, man. Kids, though. I remember when it started, and I'm not trying to bring everybody down of reminding you what 2020 was like, but I was patiently waiting on the SEC tournament to start, the SEC basketball tournament. Tennessee and Alabama were the first game. And about 30 minutes before tip-off, they announced that they were canceling it. And it was just like a domino effect. Everything started getting canceled. I mean, within minutes, everybody was announcing, we're canceling this, we're canceling that. There was no NCAA tournament. There was no conference tournament. Just everything got canceled. And I was like, oh, this must be serious. Like, and it kind of spurred some panic attacks for me. I had one instance where I was doing Uber and I was driving down 59, headed towards the junction. I had a passenger with me, and all of a sudden I started getting faint. And even the passenger was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I think I'd caught COVID at that point, and I almost passed out while I was driving.
Jeez.
Never forget that. But the weirdest part of all of that was when it first popped up, it was I felt sick, and there were places that were offering testing. And if you tested positive for COVID, at the time, Uber and Lyft would give you like $500 to not work for 3 days. And I thought, well, if I am sick and I can get a positive COVID test, I get some free cash from these people. And so I go. One of the first places that opens for COVID testing was Church of the Highlands. They had made this makeshift big testing center. I show up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm one of the first people in line. And I pull in, and they got everybody parking, 3 spots apart. You can't even park your car close to somebody without them being afraid you're going to spread it. When you get there, they got all these tents set up. Everybody's in a hazmat suit, okay? And it was like a movie. I mean, it was apocalyptic. And they're going around car to car, and they're talking to people through the window. Don't roll your window down. They would have signs. Don't roll your window down. And then they eventually have to get paperwork and everything else. So they'll say, you crack your window that much, slide the paper in real fast, and roll your window back up. And it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, when all that first came down, we don't talk about him much anymore, but the InfoWars guy, I was watching him a long time ago, and he had this documentary come out called Endgame, and basically he was predicting that the stadiums would be empty and you wouldn't be able to go, and there would be lockdowns and all this stuff, and it would be a false thing that was going on. So it finally clicked to me. I'm like, people knew this was all going to happen, and then I looked into where they were running the trials, like how Bill Gates and all them got together and had their pre-trial, and they had a certain code name for it and all that.
Yeah.
It all just clicked in my head finally, so it was like walking around in clown world forever for me.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah. I never once had anything, because I was scared of it. I never got tested one time during the whole pandemic, not one time in my nose.
I've often thought about getting a gay frog as a pet. The frogs make good pets?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not a big fan of turtles anymore.
But your turtle was apparently gay.
Yeah.
Led you to believe that it was into women, and it turned out to be a woman.
Yeah. So, I should have known when I found out Felipe, he'd painted his shell blue. That should have given it away. But now, I mean, he shits all fine and dandy and having babies.
Speaking of pronouns, so there was in St. Louis a bad tornado that just rolled through.
Right.
5 people dead. You had a lot of damage, tens of thousands of people without power. And after it happened, people started questioning, like, why didn't we get more of an advance warning? There were no tornado sirens or nothing of the sort. So they started investigating as to what happened there. Why was there no tornado sirens? Why did nobody get a heads up? And it turns out the person in charge of that is actually a they/them. And hold on, I'll give you a little bit of information on this person. Stand by. Let's see. No, I'm on the wrong one. Hang on, I'm about to get to it. So, here we go. So, the name of the lady is Sarah Russell. Sarah Russell is the SEMA, C-E-M-A, commissioner. Sarah Russell was promoted to commissioner of SEMA in May of 2021. They joined SEMA in 2010 as a specialist responsible for public information, community outreach, training, exercise. And in their bio, it is SEMA commissioner, they/them. And this is the individual that was responsible for making sure the tornado sirens went off when the tornado came. They didn't go, and everybody's like, why didn't you turn the tornado sirens on? Apparently, she had all of the employees, all of them, because they've got a full-time staff that's there 24/7. She had all of them at a workshop, and you can imagine what kind of workshop that was. What is likely a DEI workshop.
Yes.
You could almost guarantee it. And like when you work for a big corporation, such as I do, and such as you used to,
yes,
they make you take DEI online courses. Yes. You know, it's watch a video, answer 4 or 5 questions, you move on. I guarantee you that's what it was. And 5 people died because she had the tornado siren people at a freaking inclusivity workshop during a tornado.
I mean, my God, just have one person there manning things, and he can watch it on freaking FaceTime or whatever.
Yeah,
and that
just
way
pick the
something
gayest person on staff and say, I think you're good. You probably don't have to do this workshop. You stay here and man the sirens. And I'm not pretending to know the inner workings of you know, for all I know, it's a million buttons you got to push, and you got to program a computer to set off the sirens, or maybe it's just one button. But pick the most flamboyant yafer and tell them to stick around while you go to your little workshop.
I guess that would. I mean, anybody would be good.
I have often said DEI gets people killed. You know,
it does.
We've seen it happen in plane wrecks, helicopter crashes. We now see it in tornadoes. It's because DEI. What is a result of DEI? People that are unqualified for a particular position.
Right.
And so that's just another example.
It's sad.
Let's keep talking about trans people.
Okay.
Came across this video, and it is one of our favorite trans people that we've played on the show several times.
Oh, right.
Remember, he got the face, the plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah.
And then he showed it off, and he looked the exact same. Still like a dude. That's
he had a
this
bunch
guy.
of them, didn't he? Over a period of time.
Yeah, it was something like that. And anyway, so he's gone to Disney World, where trans people go to find joy, I guess. And he's at one of these restaurants. I guess it's like international, like he's in Thailand or whatever. And he is so excited because he is getting to try this food. He's excited because he's at Disney World, and he's having a great time until the Taiwan restaurant owner misgenders him.
The bottom is from Thailand?
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry, my bad. And
He said, my bad, sir.
The middle one is from India. It's the papadom with the ginger chutney.
Okay.
And the third is from Brazil. It's a cheese bread with the guava sauce.
Thank you. Just like totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately like leave. Because I no longer feel like safe here. It's like, oh, my garden now has to be.
Oh my God!
Safe. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the training. We're supposed to say friend or just not use gendered language. It's like a pretty big thing that Disney has done. Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah. Exactly, right? Like, if you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. That's not how it works.
Sorry about what happened.
It's okay. I would love to pay for the drink, please.
No, the drink is on me too, so...
You don't have, are you sure?
You're good, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank
Oh, God.
Somebody needs to let Mufasa loose on her.
Dude, and I'm sure that bread tower was probably about $75. So I'd have been like, oh yeah, so-and-so misgendered me too. But
And then the guy gave her the drink for free, and she's like, oh, I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe.
Or whatever.
Because some foreign guy who doesn't see freaks like you on a regular basis just happened to call you sir because you're like, can I order a bread tower from Thailand? Like, come on, dude. Quit saying... Again, we all agree, like, if you're trans and you're an adult, like, we're fine with that. That's perfectly fine. But you got to stop taking yourself so serious.
Well, I mean, in her defense, she did have the pink Mickey Mouse ears, I guess the Minnie Mouse ears with the bow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should have told him right there, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, the problem is it's actually a guy, so you just naturally say sir.
Maybe it has a deep voice.
Well, welcome to Disney World. Give me my bread tower.
I mean, I've misgendered somebody on accident, and I would have said what they wanted just to have, no problem. But,
You know what? Let me tell you something right here and right now. if I see someone that I think is probably doing they, them, or she, it, or whatever, I'm going to deliberately get in their face and misgender them. Like if it's a transgender woman,
yeah,
I'm just going to walk up to them and say, "Sir."
I think that would be good because I think that could toughen them up. Sometimes you need some tough love, and that's what that can be. We're just trying to thicken your skin. And so, sir, and just do it a bunch of times right there in their face.
I think so. I've got a question for you guys. Please be honest with me, okay?
Okay.
I'm just noticing the camera. Do I look a little bit like the guy that wore the leather in The Village People with his mustache?
A little bit. Do we want to look that up?
Young man, there's a place you can go. You think?
Copyright strike. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, I personally think it's a good look.
I kind of like it.
So, we talking the cowboy?
Well, it could be either the cowboy or the
oh yeah, okay.
Guy.
You the cop.
Like this guy?
The leather cop.
Oh, this
guy.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, the blue oyster looking.
Yeah. You actually look like 3 of them.
Oh God.
You literally look like half the Village People. Yeah, you look like the left, the right, and the
not the cowboy,
the gay motorhead guy.
This guy right here kind of looks like the guy off of Happy Gilmore, the nurse. Ben Stiller played him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I like the Village People.
I mean, he unalived. Well, no, I mean, if someone's passed away, I mean, can't you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deceased
and assist.
I like the Village People. They made amends with Donald Trump, and he's still able to. I mean, Donald Trump has taken the YMCA, and he's playing it in the Middle East. Okay,
yeah,
that's a big deal.
Yeah,
all right. You have done wonders for the Village People. All right, one more trans person.
Okay,
and this one's got to do with our national parks. Right. Donald Trump's administration has banned all the pride flags and the trans flags from our national parks. There's only one flag which covers all of us, which is the American flag. But Amen. This person, and I don't know if this is a park ranger or somebody cosplaying or what. I wasn't going to say that you look like this person, but y'all do have a similar mustache.
How dare you? You're judging.
I'm not.
Are you misgendering me right now?
No, I'm not. This person is defying the order of the federal government when it comes to the trans flag. Watch this.
Some carry hate. We carry the largest trans pride flag to ever be flown in a national park and unfurled it on the side of El Cap to prove a point that trans is natural. The Trump administration and transphobes would love to have you believe that being trans is unnatural, but species that can transition sexes can be found on every continent and in every ocean on planet Earth. So call it a protest, call it a celebration. We are bringing elevation to liberation. They try to erase us from government websites and education systems and libraries. So we raise this flag higher than ever before so every trans person knows that they have people that love them in their corner. The people united will never be defeated. Some carry...
Did you see that? Its face. The fucking face. You got to be kidding me. That makeup. I mean,
oh.
You know what I would do? I would get climbing gear and I would pretend like, I'd even dye my hair and go, yeah, I love the flag. And I would climb up there and they would, people would be like, what's that on your back? And I said, no, it's just, just something I got. And I get up there and I pull out that flamethrower and I'll go, and I would just burn it.
I'll be honest, John Bird's a man of action. I mean, we got to admit that because it's always it's a little violent at times, but he takes action when he's passionate about something.
Is it just me? Does this kind of look like? It almost looks like a filter off somebody's phone. That's how
a cheap filter from 2022.
It's a very detailed makeup job that he did, but I don't know, man.
The hat even looks gay.
Even the badge says gay.
Yeah. I mean,
was that Gloria? What does that say? I can't tell.
It says gay
underneath the.
Oh, gay Gloria. glory
can't
hole.
tell.
Gay glory hole.
Here we go.
So the idea that trans is natural, I mean, it would. If it was natural, you'd have some scientific proof to bring to the table and say, this is the proof that. And they always use what is it, a hermaphrodite? They always use that argument,
Those
which
poor
is
people with
like
wee willy winkers,
and most of those people aren't like, they ain't going around looking like that.
No.
They look normal.
Having a good time, I guess.
And if you're a hermaphrodite, even, running labs on you, you can figure out which one you really are. You just happen to have both parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never have to have sex with anybody but yourself.
I would think it'd be hard to get lonely if you're a true hermaphrodite.
Right. You got both parts.
Where is this going?
I mean, we're pondering.
But I don't think you could.
Depends on how big you are.
Well, no, you got to think about it. Okay. When a man has an election, that's what I'm going to call it, it either goes straight out or it's usually up here. Sometimes they're turned sideways.
Yeah, sometimes there's a curve.
Bill Clinton. So I think it would break it if you tried to pull it all the way around. I mean, it would have to be,
You'd have to be semi.
Well, I don't know if you would use them both parts together. I got to be careful. But it would give them several options if they were by themselves at their house.
Yeah,
But-
you could decide which route you want to go.
So you would have to be bisexual. I mean, you couldn't be gay because you go like, ooh, I can't believe it's there. And if you're a lesbian, you're like, oh my gosh, I mean, when you think, I mean, they would probably enjoy peeing because they could stand up,
Right. Would you sit? Would it be weird if you were with another girl and you were scissoring and your ball sack was slapping against them?
First of all, where do you get this thing? You said it, I scissor several times, you and Tony.
Well, you're
I
the
don't
expert
scissor.
at leg wrestling and stuff.
Yeah, you
so-
don't know about scissoring?
That is a sport, and it's been around forever.
Look,
yeah, that's
scissor.
what lesbians do.
Right.
I do it the good old fashioned way. I mean, the way God intended it.
The way, yeah, that is the way God intended it.
Okay, so the trans hermaphrodites. Can they? Do they have the option to pee out of one or the other, or is that even a thing?
Oh,
Let's go to Grok.
Oh God.
Okay.
Let's go to Grok.
Should never said no.
Grok, how does a hermaphrodite urinate?
Is that?
Yeah, they'll get it. It's AI. They understand
if
what we're
you
trying
use
to say.
technical terms like that,
can-
I think that'll work.
Hermaphrodite, or more accurately, an intersex person. Blah, 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 blah. In general, if the person has a urethra that functions similarly to that of the typical male or female, they urinate through the urethral opening, which may be located at the tip of the pee, near the clee, or in another position, depending on their anatomy.
Another position is coming out their ass? What?
So you got a third possibility here. In some intersex conditions, such as ambiguous genitalia, the urethra may open in an atypical location. Example, hypospadias or
I don't want to know.
epispadias, but urination typically still occurs through the urethral opening. If surgical interventions, gender-affirming or reconstructive surgeries have been performed, the anatomy and urination process may be altered based on the surgical outcome.
Okay.
I don't feel like that answered the question.
So I guess it depends on, it's like a crapshoot. When you're born, it might come out of your wee willy winker, might come out of your hoo-hoo, or could
you
come
may
out of
have
your butthole.
You may, yeah, it could come out of your arm. You may have to pee out your elbow or something.
Oh,
I mean, if you had both of them and you had the choice, you could, well, I'm just gonna. No, there's no urinal open in this bathroom. I'll just go in this one and sit down.
But do you only have one urethra?
Evidently, that's what they say.
And so you got
So it can't go to both places.
It's like a tube, and it's just a crapshoot as to where it ends up.
Right.
Like the end of the tube ends up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it splits off into,
Right. Yeah, that would make sense.
Have y'all seen this girl with the big mouth?
No.
Mute it first, and then just play it for a second. Muted, just so y'all can see what she looks like.
Ooh.
I mean, that's a big mouth, right?
Yeah.
All right, now pause it and go back, and we'll unmute it. The thing about this is when this was posted on social media, everybody had a quirky comment to make.
Mm-hmm.
And they were funny. But somebody took the comments and turned them into a song. And it turned out to be pretty phenomenal.
Let's make something not Italian.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
pretty good.
impressed with that.
Yeah, we gotta do some of those.
Yeah, but you imagine French kissing? You'd be like your face. I can't breathe.
Yeah, that'd be complicated.
But
All
she's
right.
very, very beautiful young lady.
We have moved fast. We're going to have to do some short final words.
Oh.
And then get to our members only video. Tony Gump.
Final word, stay positive, get plenty of water, meat, sunlight, and sleep. Don't get in the CIA unless you're already in the CIA because they pay really well, but probably not a good place to go. And then you'll have to read a memo every morning or something. At least I've heard that. So have a good one.
Have a good one, he says. Jumbert.
Here's my one word. Trans. Now, I feel sorry for them and am angry at them at the same time. But you know, it's indicative of a much bigger problem that we have in society. I think it started with no offense, but Gen X. The younger Gen X's became sort of hover parents, right? Then you started getting the trophies and everything. So now we have, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to be glad when I'm dead and I won't have to deal with these generations coming here, or when I'm unalived, if I should say that. And right now, you will not be seeing a mustache for the members only because I'm getting this damn thing off. It's driving me crazy.
Well, you looked good. Oh, go ahead.
God bless.
God bless. You looked good, and I'm proud of you for wearing that the whole time. Are you okay?
Yes, I always move to the side when you throw the pen because remember that time it stuck me in the eye?
Yeah,
that was bad,
dude. What episode was that? Do we still have that?
Oh my gosh,
That's been like a year ago.
12 million, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I threw it and it hit you right in the eye and you were bleeding.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Huh.
So that's why I always lean over when we get ready to do it.
All right. Well, if you have not joined our members, remember you can't do it on your iPhone, but if you go to your desktop, your laptop, or Android device, or go to your Safari on your iPhone, you can sign up. There's a join button right there on our YouTube channel. It says join. You click it. It's $4.99 a month. You get exclusive content you can't get anywhere else right there, including a live video twice a week. So sign up. Sign up, baby. And until next time, circle!